the jawline or jawbone, cheekbone.
Caught me at the right time, baby. Oh, I was at the end. Made me feel like that.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Natasha. Welcome. Go ahead and subscribe because why not? I know I've been promising you guys a brush video for quite some time, but we're finally here. If you guys have been struggling with what brushes to use, how to use them, when to use them, this video is going to be super helpful. So make sure you guys are liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and keep watching. All right, so this is the long-awaited brush video. We're going to jump right into it. So today we're going to be focusing on brushes, sponges, powder puffs, tools, anything you need to accomplish a full face. I never really touch on brushes because it is super in-depth. So this is the video you need to refer back to if you're watching any of my tutorials and you want to know about a brush. This is going to be the video. Today is going to be brush focus. We're not going to focus too much on the products, but if you want to know what I'm using, check the description box. I will still leave everything down below. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm about to prime my face real quick. Don't be alarmed, this primer makes my face very white, but it works so good. The first brush you're going to be starting off with is the foundation brush. Now these all look different, but they have one thing in common. They're for foundation. They all have short, compact, dense bristles, which are going to be very good for liquids. So these two are definitely the same, like a dome type of brush. They're really good for buffing. This brush is kind of the same, just a little bit more flat. You can just really pack it on. And then this is kind of a hybrid of this and an angle brush. You can like hug different areas of your face if you want to, but all foundation brushes. Also, 95% of these brushes will be Morphe, and I highly recommend Morphe brushes because they're affordable, they're good, and they last long. I actually still have a lot of my original Morphe brushes, but these are what they're selling now, so these are what I'm going to use for demonstration purposes. My reasons for liking the other ones better are, I guess, like, are really nitpicky, I guess. Like, I like that the original ones are black because these get dirty really easily and are hard to clean. And for some reason, these bristles, like this, I just cleaned this brush and it's kind of stained. It's a personal thing, but whatever. So again, ignore that the brush is a little stained, but take a look at the brush. This is gonna give you a nice airbrush finish. This is kind of like a bonus foundation brush. I'm gonna show it to you guys because I feel like it comes in a lot of the brush sets, but it is a very skinny foundation brush, like a spatula brush. It looks like this and it's super thin. So if you're a beginner and you're struggling with applying too much foundation or not having enough coverage, this is going to be perfect for you. I don't like pumping the product on my face. I'm just going to go like this and use it like a paintbrush and apply the product to get a nice thin layer. It also helps to work in sections of the face. I like to work on this half, on the bottom first, then this, and then the top. It just works for me because sometimes some foundations dry once they hit your face. So it's just a lot better to work like that. And then I like to just buff it in. And you don't want to do these kind of motions, literally pack it in and let the brush do the work. Notice how I'm holding my brush? I'm not holding my brush like this. When you do this, you're applying too much pressure and you're gonna see like brush strokes or texture when you do that. You want to just let the brush do the work and hold it as far away as possible and just tap it in. And again, when you use this kind of brush, you have a lot more control. You can apply product more where you need it versus constantly applying too much product. I'm just taking that and tapping. You don't need to go like this. You don't need to go like that. I know a lot of people are against applying foundation on the forehead. I say don't apply a lot, but when you do this technique, you're able to really thin it out so that you don't have a thick layer of foundation on your forehead. If I wasn't showing you guys, if I wasn't teaching you guys how to use these tools, I would have just went like this with the foundation. That's an option too. But like, I kind of know what I'm doing. But to make your life a lot easier, I will say use this kind of brush or like just a regular foundation brush. It doesn't have to be this, but if you buy Morphe brushes, you're probably gonna get this. It does apply the product very thin. I think the biggest problem that a lot of people have that I've noticed when they're doing their makeup, it's not the tools, it's not the product, you're rushing. You literally have to just take your time, unless it's something that you literally do every day and you have down packed. You're gonna have to really take your time with your routine. And like this patting motion isn't something that can be done like this. Like that's why you're going like this, because you're rushing. So you need to just, you know, set aside some time. If that means you gotta wake up early, if makeup is something that you want to do, then I'm sorry, you just gotta wake up early, babe. Me personally, if I don't have enough time, I'm gonna just skip the makeup altogether. Like I don't care that much. I don't. But I don't judge those who do. These next few steps, take what applies. If you don't use cream or liquid blush and bronzer, then just skip over this. I was gonna skip over this, but I'm aware that a lot of people do use those things. So I'm gonna include it, right? This is a cream and liquid bronzer brush. And as you can see, it's kind of short and dense like the foundation brush, but it's more of like a duo fiber finish. So it's gonna give you more of a airbrush finish versus the foundation, which is kind of packing the product on and trying to give you coverage. Because you don't necessarily need full coverage when it comes to liquid and cream bronzers, because first of all, they're heavily pigmented and I don't know, you just want it to look more natural, right? So they kind of switch up the brush style, but it's the same concept. So I'm just applying my bronzer. Remember, we're not focusing on products or really like my technique, just the brushes. Oh my gosh, it's about to storm. It just got so gray outside. You do not have to apply makeup in the same steps as me. This is just how I'm feeling. And if you watch me, you guys know I always switch up how I apply my makeup, the order, the routine, all of the things. Just like you did with the foundation, you are going to kind of press and buff that in. You're not gonna swipe. You're gonna just take your time patting the product. And I will say, if you get to areas like your neck, then you can kind of wipe and swipe so that it looks a little bit more diffused. You don't need that heavy pigmentation right there. But when you're doing areas like this, just pat it out. You've already applied your product where you want it to be. So doing these crazy swiping and swirling motions is just gonna move your product around too much, and you want it to stay where you put it. And now we're nice and bronzed. While my concealer sits a little bit, we're gonna talk about concealer brushes. Two that I typically rotate, but I wanna show you guys this one. So this is the Real Techniques Setting Powder brush. I've had this for years. I bought a bunch of them a while ago because they went on sale, and I don't think they sell this anymore. Oh, y'all should see the clouds. It's so gray outside. Anyways, then they later came out with what everybody was calling the cat paw brush. I haven't seen that in stores in so long because I tried to buy that. Couldn't find it. So something like this, something just small and fluffy and just really kind of loose. It doesn't have to be super packed. And then you guys know my go-to brush is the Houdini brush. It's super small, it's angled, so it just sits right under the eye and it's perfect. I used to have one that was a little bigger, but I either lost it or I lost it. But the smaller one works just as good. It is from a small owned brand, so I will link that down below. She has an array of brushes. I would definitely check them out if you kind of want to splurge on some brushes and get some high quality brushes for your collection. So now if you're buying Morphe brushes, you're probably gonna come across this brush that is labeled as a concealer brush. I like this more as a spot concealer brush, like if I was color correcting, or I like this for underneath my brow, blending out the concealer. I do not like this for underneath my eye. It's just too small. Like I feel like I'm blending forever. It's too dense, it's too small. Can it be done? Yes, not my preference. Definitely any two brushes that look like this will get the job done. The sponge is always an option. So I'm gonna do one side with the sponge, one side with the brush, so that you guys can kind of see the difference, because let's not forget about the sponge. I know I use the brush a lot, but the sponge definitely gets the job done. So I'm just gonna blend this out really quickly. The sponge is also a lot quicker. There's really no right or wrong with the sponge. It's just all your preference. I do feel like if you're a beginner, you will like the sponge a little bit more. I was actually supposed to color correct before I started this, but I literally forgot. But I will say, if you're trying to get the fullest coverage from your concealer, then use the brush, but you do still get good coverage with the sponge. I don't know, I just feel like it's a more precise look, and like you can really move the product. You see the difference, how that is like lifted and that just kind of blended in. So again, it's your preference. I do feel like now that I'm working with it side by side, when I use the brush, I have to go into product again a lot more just to make sure everything's seamless. And the sponge just kind of melts everything on its own. Like, you see how I have to keep going over the edges of this? Because like, I don't know. And so now I'm going in with a brighter concealer. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. There was a time where I used my sponge for everything. So like genuinely, if you are on a budget or you're just lazy or you just don't have the coordination for the brushes, use a sponge, babes. I used to use one. I would say get two at most. I would use the bottom for my foundation. I would use one side for my concealer, and then I would flip it over and set the other side, use the other side for powder to set my face. And then of course I would have to use like powder brushes, but like as far as all these different liquid brushes, why do I keep doing that? This is like a little newer for me in my makeup career. I never used to get down like this, but you know, now I'm here. But I'll never forget my roots. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel pressured to have to buy all of these brushes if you don't want to. Morphe, while we're here, if you're watching this, can we come out with like a matte black version of these brushes? Like, I just feel like that would be so sleek. It's so on brand. The yellow is cute, the tan is cute, the white is cute, but it's makeup. It's just not practical. And like, I feel like no matter how, like, look at my handle after using it. It just doesn't look appealing to me. And then like, they're super hard to wipe off. Like, I just don't like white and light colors around makeup because makeup stains. So, oh, almost forgot. For the liquid blush girlies, it's kind of the same concept as the bronzer. You can definitely use the same kind of brush, obviously not the same exact brush because this is gonna have bronzer on it. Or you can just use a foundation brush. So I'm gonna use this one today, but be kind of careful because you know, your blush brush, I just can't get that right. Your blush spread. So just try to use like the tip of it, like so. But you do want something a little dense to keep the product in place. Or you can use a sponge. Remember, anything liquid applies to the sponge as well. Now I'm gonna be setting my under eye and I'm taking a powder puff. I used to use a sponge, like I said, to set my under eye, but a powder puff is so much better because it just gives you a nice even finish. So I like to dip it in the product and then take anything extra and just kind of roll it on the back of my hand. And before I set my under eye, I make sure that my under eye is smoothed out so that I'm not setting any creases. And I just press this in like so. Literally any powder puff works, you guys. And you want to set anywhere that you apply that concealer or anywhere that you feel like you get super oily. I'm telling y'all, I have not been playing in y'all face. Every time I try to film this brush video, something's happening. The lighting is off. My camera wasn't picking up the sound correctly. Like, these things only happen like it's storming. And I'm not gonna let that stop us, but I'm telling you, it's always. And now I'm gonna take a pressed powder and a powder brush. So your powder brush is gonna look something like this. As you can see, the bristles are a lot longer and looser than the foundation brush. This is gonna pick up just enough product and also give you that blurred airbrush finish. So I just like to go in with my powder like that, and then the same motion, we're pressing it in because you're really locking that foundation and you're also giving yourself a little bit more coverage. Do not skip this step. Get a powder foundation if you don't have one, because I feel like it makes such a huge difference. I do not feel like it's the same if you use a loose powder all over. Pressed powder is the way to go. And now that your face is fully set from the loose powder and the pressed powder, you are now able to move on your face. Remember, we've been just doing pressing motions. Now that everything is locked in, you can do all of this. So if you feel like you need to like buff it in some more, you feel like there's any harsh lines, now you could take the tip of the brush and go like that. Which is important because the next few steps, you are gonna have to change your brush technique. So I'm going in with my bronzer and I'm taking, why am I forgetting to show you guys the brush? Going in with this angle brush from Morphe. As you can see, because we're gonna be using powder, the bristles are a lot longer and looser like this. So you have room to kind of move the product around. First, I like to apply the powder like that and just let it hug the cheek. That's why it's angled, so that it really hugs the jawline or jawbone, cheekbone. And then I just kind of blend upwards. And I know it looks like I'm just flicking up because I'm doing it fast, but I'm really kind of just doing swirling motions. Like if you were to speed it up, then you would see, but it's just like swirling motions like that. So just like move like that. And these next two steps are why I typically don't love cream bronzers and blushes, because you literally have to go over it anyways with a powder. So you're always gonna have to set it unless you just have like really dry skin and you just are against using extra powder. You're typically gonna have to set it anyway. So I feel like you can just go ahead and skip it. Now, do I like it? Yes. Do I think it's 100% necessary? No. This is the infamous nose contour brush that you guys always ask me about. I got this from TJ Maxx a few years ago. It's a Japanese brush and it's just a straight brush, but it has kind of like a curved edge. So when I use it, it's not like two lines. Like it's not, I'm trying to see if I have another brush in front of me. It's not like super harsh. It's just very like, I don't know. It does what I need it to do. I did buy backups of it. So this is the one that I have and all of them have it rubbed off. So as you can see, it says Japanese or said Japanese. But any kind of brush that looks like this, I feel like MAC has a brush like this. I don't remember the number. Morphe used to have a brush like this. You could also use like an eyeshadow brush, like one that's kind of flat but has a little fluff to it. It will give you the same look because I rotate between it. But I wanted to show this one because you guys always ask me about this brush. So I just like to go in and saturate that color a little bit more because you guys saw I already bronzed my nose, but this is gonna more so sculpt the nose. Something about the end being curved, it just kind of follows my natural nose shape. And then we have our blush brush. So sometimes I like to go on with this. Depends on the look I'm going for. Sometimes I like to go on with this. I do like this one a little bit more because it's angled, so it just really hugs the cheek. This one sometimes gets a little out of hand. You see the difference? Like it's a good brush, but like sometimes it's a little bit much. Going in with this, you guys see red is the theme today. So picks it up, knocks them off, and then I'm just gonna apply. We're just focusing on face brushes today. Eyes will be a different story for a different day. So I'm gonna like finish the rest of my face and we're gonna come back and finish this up. Brief intermission while I look crazy. So the other day I made some cornbread. You know, sometime I dabble in the kitchen. So I start making it and I realized I ain't got no milk. I don't buy milk, but I had heavy cream. Then, you know how you're supposed to add butter? I made honey butter, put it in there. And then when it came out, I brushed it with some more honey butter. Delicious. Anyways, back to our schedule program. Get my little finishing touches and I do look a little crazy. So we're gonna take that same powder brush and dust that away. I did use, where is it? I did use the powder puff to do the whole baking situation. And if you do have those harsh lines, just go back in with your pressed powder and just go over that. When I do my bright under eye, I like to take the pressed powder and like press it in first. It's like a pressed brightening powder. I can't find the other one that I normally use. This is, disregard this, but anyway. Then it's this little tiny brush. We have some long loose bristles here. And I'm just gonna take that and really buff that in. It's because you wanted that pigment, but you don't want it to stay like that. Sometime I'll dip into another kind of powder. Those are all the brushes that you're gonna need to achieve a full face like this. Those are all the brushes that I use when I do my full face. Like I said, unless I decide to use a sponge, it's very doable. So do not feel overwhelmed if you watch this and feel like you have to buy 1,000,001 brushes. If you do have brushes at home, watch this first, look through your collection and kind of minimize. Don't run out to buy anything because 9 times out of 10, you probably have brushes similar to this already. You do not need the same exact brushes, just I gave you the blueprint, okay? So I hope this was helpful and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Baby, where would